Okie dokie, I think we're getting there. Everything is a little slow. My laptop just crashed before I could start this stream, so that's why it took a little longer before I was there. So I hope you guys are not too upset that I didn't start exactly at 8. I was trying to, but things didn't work out the way I wanted to. So still waiting for some things to load basically, but we should be there in a few seconds. Well, with my laptop that can take a minute, but let's at least go live. Hi there, everybody. This is one of the first times you guys will actually see me do something different than pixel art. I was supposed to put that also in the description of my video, but for whatever reason, I cannot find where to do it. So, yeah, screw it. It's not that important. Um, it's just going to say a different thing than it's actually supposed to be. It says that I'm designing the Rijksmuseum for my game Gaia, which is today absolutely not the case, because today we're working on a Game Dev TV Game Jam, um, which I would gladly have put in, but unfortunately I have no clue where to change it. So at least Visual Studio has been loaded. Didn't do everything yet, and I am looking at, yes, here is finally my scene as I have it so far. Not so much, I know, but at least we have something. And yeah, we're gonna have to do with what we have, right? So unfortunately, I also somehow cannot get my camera to work. It's supposed to be there, but I don't see it, and I don't think you either. So I'll try one more time. Nope, I do not see a cam, and I'm pretty sure I didn't put my screen in front of it, because that would explain everything, of course, but no, that's behind it, so can try that one more time maybe to see if that helps. Hey, good evening, unexpected. That's very nice that you're here. And yeah, it's unexpected. I never know if you're going to be here, so I would say it's unexpected every time. Glad to have you on board. Um, so I've been playing around a little bit. I didn't get very far. As you can see, I have a guy and I have a terrain, and the terrain is very empty. Doesn't have anything in it. By the way, unexpected, are you able to hear me, or is it appalling at the moment? Because my PC is not having it today. It's really, really, really bad. So I'm doing what I can, but that's probably also why you see my don't see my camera. I have no clue what is wrong with it. It just doesn't want to show. So okay, at least the audio is good. Thank you for that. That's one thing. Also, didn't want to work with my phone cam. I have no clue what's going on here. My laptop just doesn't want to work with me today. So let me just show you the things I did today, which was not so much. And I'm gonna have to have waiting music, I guess, because basically every time I want to do something, look at this. This is insane. It's just got four small tiny scripts, and it takes forever to just build them. It is absolutely atrocious at the moment. I do not know. Just before I started streaming, my laptop crashed. Just not nice. I really hoped that I would have a decent stream and I can actually make some progress because I want to paint the terrain, and the Game Jams team is live in 2 dimensions. So that is something that has a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things with. There we go. Oh my god, it's so slow. This is supposed to be walking, and it's definitely not that slow normally. So I don't know if this is to do with the fact that I'm streaming, but it doesn't want to have it. But anyway, it has a walking animation. You can go left and right because I want to make it 2.5D right. So it walks. It has a follow camera that it has on it, which is a virtual camera, which is a cine machine. In case you never did it before, you can set up a virtual camera with some boundaries that you want to show and how it's supposed to work, what it's supposed to follow, and stuff like that. Had to figure it out myself because basically first it just wanted to follow my player, but if it turned around, it just jumped the camera to the other side, and that doesn't really work so well if you're not trying to have that. I cannot stand that I have no camera. It's really annoying. Let me see if I try another camera. And I will try this basically just once to see if it works. Yep, there it goes. Oh, you didn't see all that mess. You didn't see all that mess, really. Tell me you didn't see that mess. Okay, there we go. We've got camera. I'm here. Not so sure how smart that is when everything is already slow as hell. I mean, you have to do something. I guess what I want to do first is create some platforms, simple things, things that we can walk on. Um, get a rigid body or stuff like that on it. Get some jumping going on. I have some animations here, and I'm going to refactor a little bit of the code because basically I'm not happy with the code that I wrote so far. I have a singleton of a virtual input manager. Basically, it means that whatever I put in this, for now I only have keyboard input, but if I later would want to do a controller input, that is also not an issue. And just to make sure that everybody can read this a little bit easier, um, here we go with some zoomed in code. I think that's a little easier on the eyes, right? So yeah, this is a very basic script. It does nothing else than just check if I did left, right, or whatnot. So basically, that's all it does, and it gives it back to the singleton, and make sure that you have a virtual input manager that can both work with keyboard input, but also with anything else. Could use the new input system of Unity. I thought about it and didn't think about it anymore because I was basically not happy with doing it. And this is something that I will change first. I am not happy with using the animator like that. So I will show you first how I'm using it now. I always have trouble moving this shit. Perfectly readable. Ah, that's good. I'm not sure if that's the same here because this is pretty tiny, I think, but that is what it is. Basically, what you standard do in Unity when you want to create animation states is that you have transitions, and those transitions you can set parameters on, like for example, move. Um, if I set the parameter move, yeah, I cannot see that now because I'm not playing, but basically when you set the parameter move, it will mean that it will say do the animation walk forward, and the walk forward will start, and basically you will see my character walk. Now this is pretty easy still because I only have one, but if I get 20 animations, then this is totally not readable. And you get like a spider web of animation states. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this right now because I really don't like it. And instead of using this little bit, what I'm going to do here is animator.play, and then I say walk forward because that's the name of the movement that I'm doing there. And the first thing we will check after that, of course, is that we want to see if this actually is still working, because this is actually not true. This is idle. In case you're wondering, I did this code to make sure that if we're pressing the buttons for move left and move right at the exact same time, I don't want to move at all, because then somebody probably made an error. So when this happens, we want to do an idle animation. But this one does need a walk animation. So I will change those. And now Unity will be importing my code again, which will take a little bit of time. So I will not be singing because that is terrible, and I will not have a waiting music because I haven't implemented that yet. But Basically, just imagine yourself in elevator music or something. I don't know which music you prefer, but anything that you prefer, put that in your mind and have that as the background music while we wait until this script finally gets loaded. I can keep talking, of course, but it will take a while. I don't know why it takes so long, but it takes pretty damn long. Need to take a sip of water, and then we just keep continuing to wait. And as you can see, this is no fun. I have no clue what my laptop decided to do today, but it wasn't having me today. So I hope this is not gonna be too much of waiting, and it might hopefully pick up the pace somewhere today, because this is nothing for me. I really hate this. Finally, it's starting to do something. That took only 1 minute and 10 seconds to start doing that. This is one of the few things that I really don't like about Unity, and that's really the fact that this takes sometimes forever. All those scripts that have to reload, and there is an option, in case people will start to tell me that there is an option to tell Unity not to keep rendering your scripts every single time. Um, yeah, and I will probably set that one day, but for now, let me at least check first if I can still walk before I do anything of that kind of stuff. Because I don't really remember where I had that option, but I know it's there. Oh, elevator music. Maybe I should figure out how to put music in my stream at the same time, but I don't think that's a good idea. Anyway, this should still work. If we have an idle animation, yes, we have an idle animation, then this should be working perfectly fine. Yep, it's walking, or at least it has the idea of walking, right? So basically, I have an idea in mind that I want to build for this game, and my idea is maybe not so elaborate, but I want to make a game in which the player is both a person and a dragon. So there's elements going to be in this platformer game where you will need to become a dragon in order to do things in the level. So if you don't have your dragon power, you might not be able to go through an obstacle because the obstacle will be unpushable by the human character, or it should be burned or whatever. One of those things. Or maybe you should fly over it like that. And other things you cannot pass through as a dragon. Basically, you're too big, or it requires some other skill that only a human has. So that is my first idea of what I want to do with this game. And then it has to be, well, I'm most adept with making a platformer game, so it's gonna have to be a platformer game that I'm building, um, and that is what I'm gonna try. And I only have very little time because my kids don't always cooperate, as some people already know. I'm wondering if I want to first be sculpting some terrain, because this is basically now only very standard terrain, so you can paint on the terrain, you can raise it, the different textures that you can do with a terrain. For that, I probably will just turn off my player for a bit, just so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I have to do it in scene view. And if you're wondering, yes, this is a pretty big view. Yeah, shape-shifting abilities. Hey, Mr. Hercules, I don't know if you just missed what I was explaining, but I'm making a game jam game at this moment. I tried to change the description of my stream, but for whatever reason, nothing was working, and I even crashed before I started streaming. So I had to just do with whatever I have, and I didn't get to change it. But I'm making a game for the GameDev.tv game jam, and I've decided to go or try to go for a 2.5D platformer game um, about a man who can morph basically or change into a dragon to overcome obstacles that he cannot do as a human and that he cannot do as a dragon. He will have to go back to his human form. Basically, in the first level, they will have to figure out that they actually can do that, and in the second level, you will have to solve your puzzles using your different forms. And I'm thinking at the moment that I will have some constraints like you cannot do this more than so many times, or if you do that, you have to first do that, otherwise you cannot go back. So basically, stuff like that. But I'm still thinking that, and I'm thinking on my feet, so that can still take a while. Anyway, I'm thinking to start with some terrain. Always do that wrong, right? I have a setup where I just basically um, have my game window below my scene window, and I somehow always click wrong. And why am I using it like this? Let me tell you, I think this is just going to be the easier way to do it, because what I want is that this is going to have automatic parallaxing. So let's see if I don't do it in a place where I shouldn't. So let me put my player back for a second. Now my player is still perfectly fine. What I want is that, and I will try to show you by playing now, because you will not see any materials yet, but you will see the shape. You will see automatically we have a parallaxing effect for free, basically. Because that's the big advantage of using a 3D world for using a 2D platformer game. You don't have to make a parallaxing script. Normally, if I make a 2D platformer game, I'd have to do several layers of background. Those layers have to be with parallaxing, and you have to set up which layer moves in which speed. I don't have to do that now, because basically when I start walking, and I have to keep talking about this because my laptop is exceedingly slow today. Anyway, now if we walk, you will see that this moves already like it should. Well, I'm just going through the terrain. This is because I have no collider on myself, my person, so you will be able to walk through everything. But as you can see, you already have a foreground, you have a background, and it moves. So that's basically, I got it for free. Normally you wouldn't have that. I also have to, my setup is now completely different, so I have to do my chat on the other window. So if I miss something in the chat, I'm sorry, I will get to you, I'm sure. I absolutely promise you. I'm not the kind of guy who would not. Anyway, I do have a box collider, but the terrain has no collider, of course. That is the thing. Or it does. Why am I going straight through the terrain? That should not be. I'll figure that out in a moment. Anyway, so what I want to do is basically create some terrain with some different heights, some looking like, I guess, some grass, some mountains and stuff like that with snow maybe on top and whatever, and some water maybe if I can, which really is depending on how well my laptop is behaving, because as you can tell right now it's not behaving very good. And it's just I'm not at the moment gonna worry too much about how the landscape looks. I just want to have it working. That's basically all I want to do. So basically paint some terrain, some different heights. I don't have any materials yet, so I have to find some materials. I know I have some, so maybe I can get some from my own assets that I already have. My asset management from the packet manager. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, I made a terrain of 1,000 by 1,000. And to make sure that my character is a little bit in the middle of it, I set the position to -500 and -500 on the z-axis. So he basically stands in the middle of the entire terrain that we have. And it might even be too small, I don't know yet, but there's definitely something going to be going on here. He has some space to walk. at least for now. My character is basically a free model. I am terrible at modeling. I might try to do it, make my own after I finish just getting the basics working, if I can. If I can't, then yeah, too bad. I won't. But it's not that important that it's my own character. I can always change it a little bit, maybe change some colors on it or whatever. It's the same for a dragon. I found a dragon, so I can maybe do something with the dragons. It's all good. Let me see. Here I have some nature, stylized open world environment. I don't think that was the thing that I want. But what is? That's the problem. City and terrain, terrace package? No. Want something like a forest or something. Fantasy forest. Skybox, that's also. I'm gonna change the skybox. I can do that like pretty immediately. Thank you, thank you. I'm. That's basically the most important, I think, here. If I'm explaining this to you guys and you guys understand, then I understand myself also. Because I feel always like I don't know shit about this stuff. I see other people do this so fast, but then again, they have probably machines that work better than mine. Because this machine is really not playing nice today. Okay, this is important. Will take a little bit. If you've never worked with skyboxes of Unity, then you will be in for a treat because that is something that you will see in a moment. Um, Hopefully, it will actually be visible. That is something that I do not know. So wait. In the meantime, does anybody have something cool to tell me? Something interesting that I can react to? Or a question that I might answer? Because, yeah, I cannot help that my machine is not doing it faster today, so I'm gonna have to really talk the rest of the time. I hope I can make something easygoing today. I've done something like this a bit before, but I basically never finished that. The terrain editor for me is a terrible tool. Um, it's really hard for me to work with it because you have to be so specific and um, yeah. Sometimes when I like you see already now, I barely touched it and my mountain is high. Um, when would you use Blender for modeling instead of Unity? I would use Blender for basically anything else but terrain. The terrain option, yeah, that also sometimes is better. I would probably also use it for more intricate trees, for houses, for um, yeah. Let's face it, any character model that you want to make yourself, spaceships, stuff like that. Basically, you cannot do that with a thing from Unity. What you could do is houses. Basically, you can use the what's that thing again? There's one thing that you can actually make simple objects with, and you just you put them on top of each other and make a bigger object. So basically, what you're doing in Blender, you can do for a limited part in Unity, but I would never do that for a character. I would use that for maybe a simple building that doesn't have to have any interaction or something like that. Hey, one lion. Good that you have me back. Yeah. Welcome here. And wow, thank you for the raid of 12 people. That is amazing. Thank you so much. This is more than I could ever ask for. Um, Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a game jam game for everybody who got in here, and thank you so much for following One Lion here to see me. I'm doing the Game Dev TV Game Jam. The first 2 days were basically a bust because my kids didn't want to cooperate. Basically, they don't sleep sometimes, and also of course I want to spend some time with my kids and my family. So it's not that I'm unhappy about it. It's basically just I wish I could have already had a little bit of a head start. So the only thing so far I have is a character, and the character can walk. The character can also has already a little bit of terrain. The terrain I have to paint, of course, because the terrain doesn't look good on its own. It's just a bit of blocks that you don't see anything with. And I'm very terrible with the terrain tool. So for anyone who's watching and thinking, "Oh my God, you can do this so much simpler," I know. I truly know. I am not good with the terrain tool, but I will get better. I'm just trying. I have a follow camera on it already, so basically when we walk, we are staying with the player. Um, Thank you for the follow, Jeeper978. I promise that you will not regret that. And hello, Half Moon. Yes, we are in Unity today, and we're also not working on Gaia the game. And I'm super sorry that the description says something else today. Um, I just crashed straight before the time was that I was supposed to start streaming, so I just hurried in, made sure everything was set up, and then yeah, then basically made sure that I was was in stream. So sorry, guys, this is not Gaia the game that I'm working on today. I am. I am making the Game Jam game. I've decided I wanted to try my hand at doing a 2.5D platformer game. I will be using the strength of 3D engine of Unity by using the standard terrain, so I for free get a parallax effect. So I will show you for the people who just came in, because I think that's maybe an interesting thing to see. So basically, what you do here, and this it takes a while. My computer is super slow. I have no idea what it's doing today. It's just basically not liking me. But what you will get is free parallaxing. You will see the terrain that obviously is not good yet, and I can still walk through it because I need colliders or whatever. Uh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Take care of yourself, which is always very interesting. You always need to take care of yourself. I have my water, so I also do that. And my laptop keeps being slow. But as you can see, I have an idle animation already set up, and a walking set animation is also there. It's too slow for words, but as you can see, because I have a terrain, I already get free parallaxing, because things that are further in the back will move slower from my character than things that are more close to me. And that's the same also with the foreground. You get free foreground, so you also have to be a little bit careful, of course, with what you put in the foreground. And I see my camera has stopped again. Hooray. That's also funny. Let me see if I can quickly get this back. If not, then screw it. You guys will not see me. Oh, that's fine, Half Moon. Any minute that you can be here is fine. Yeah, I know it's not updating anything at all on my machine as well. You will just see that everything is very slow. Anyway, what I was trying to do before you guys came in is I'm going to put in the main camera. You have a way to change your skybox, and that's why I just put in some skyboxes in my folder, and you can change those. And I must admit, I don't do it often, so I'll have to look. Yeah, talking through the work is more better than the visual part. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it's also a little hard to do everything that you want to do. So um, I'm kind of looking because I am kind of expecting my camera to have my skybox here that I can change, but I don't see it. And sometimes it changes a little bit. I'm in a few different modes. Maybe I should change this also. No, orthographic was good. Anyway, where's my skybox? I see here skybox, but I cannot choose anything. Normally, I'm supposed to be able to change this. If I set a skybox, yes. Oh, okay, I will tell you what a skybox is. It's basically what a skybox is that you can change the background of your scene. And to see that, I will basically have to turn my camera. So what you can see now is that this is basically what you normally see in your skybox. You have the sky um, and a floor, but nothing special, right? So, and now I'll have to look if I already can find those because I downloaded my skyboxes. I have a few skyboxes here. So let me see, what materials do they have? So what is this? For example, let me see if I can put the sunset in here. I should be able to put that somewhere, and I never remember where it's supposed to go. Not here, apparently, or it's not that one. That can also be. Because I'm supposed to be able to just drop it on my camera. Where the heck did you go? Maybe I should put it on the virtual camera instead. Let me see. Because I have a camera and a virtual camera, but the virtual camera usually is not the one that you needed to have. This should be here, or maybe it was on the sample scene. Let me see. Don't think so because it doesn't have much. Where was it? Nope. You know what? I'm not gonna waste too much time. Even I have to look stuff up. So I know that you can change your skybox, and I know it's usually done on the camera, but for whatever reason I cannot find it. So Unity change skybox, because you can change the color pretty easily. That is absolutely not hard. But window lighting, that was the one. Okay, window. Where are you? Lighting, lighting, lighting. General. Where did you go? Lighting changed from window lighting. I'm using a newer version of Unity, and it's not there what I'm expecting it to be. Rendering them, maybe lighting. There you go. Have to find it sometimes. Into the window it appears. Drag the new skybox material. There you go. Skybox slot. Where's the skybox slot? Environment, most likely. There you go. So from here I can change my skybox to the sunset, and look, my entire scene changes. So this is not just a small change, really. So as you can see, this changes everything. I don't think I like this one very much, but it's just an option, and there's several more. So let me see what else I have. Maybe I like another one better. But as you can see, that is a very interesting and fast way to change your complete look of your game. So yes, it's me again, Dark Spirit, and thank you for joining. That's very nice of you. And no, it's not Gaia the game today. I'm sorry for the wrong description. That was not intended, but my laptop crashed just before I started streaming, so I kind of lost everything I had planned. I wanted to have everything set up the way I wanted to. I had my camera working perfectly fine, and now my camera is not working either. I'll try one more time if it wants to work, but for some reason it just stops working after a while. There you go. I got it again. You can see all the mess in my desk. Don't look. Don't look. You didn't see that. I'm just an ordinary human being, and I also sometimes have mess. Anyway, I'm looking for a nice setup, maybe. There's some classic ones also. Sunless, moonless. Um, I want it to be a little bit of a fantasy setting, so I'm gonna have a look at maybe snowy is nice. I don't know. Mm, nah, that's a little too much. Maybe the sunrise. What do you think? Sunrise? You are sounding like a spoiled brat there a little bit, huh? My laptop really has a serious case of the Mondays. Yeah, it doesn't respond like I want it to. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go for this skybox for now. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit again because basically what I'm looking at is this guy. So also, I'm kind of thinking I might want to move my camera a bit. So now it's I want it to look from the side for sure, but I also want to see the skybox really. So maybe I will go for something more that like that. So What do you think? So, what are we creating? We are creating a 2.5D platformer game for Game Dev TV Game Jam, which is a game jam that you have 10 days to complete. And in those 10 days, you need to make, well, a playable game. Doesn't have to be big, but it's also just basically to test yourself, to do something new. And I am not a big fan of 3D, and I'm not so great with 3D. 3D always hates me, and I hate 3D back. We're not the best of friends. But I decided I wanted to try my hand at making something like that. What the advantage of this is that you have a basically free free way of getting the parallaxing effect of walking. So when you're walking, you get the terrain moving behind you, and the further away the images are, then the further, the slower or faster they move. That the parallaxing effect that you see when, for example, you're in a train, you see things in the distance moving in a slower pace than things that are straight in front of you. This is something you will get for free with a 3D terrain. And of course, I can also put stuff in front of me, so that makes this parallaxing effect even better. And I've thought of making a game because the theme is living in two dimensions, or life in two dimensions, I think it was. And I want to make a game where you are not just a human being, but you change into a dragon. So you can morph into a dragon and do puzzles that way. So basically, there's things that you cannot do as a human, and there's things that you cannot do as a dragon. So you need each other. But in the first level, you will figure out what happened actually, and that you are needing your dragon powers for some things and how to untap them and actually start using them in the second level. That's at least my idea. So I'm not sure how many levels I will actually be able to create, but I'm gonna try at least to do some. Hey, Arziga, sorry, I always say it wrong. I should say AZ, right? AZ. Last time you told me I should say that. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell my idea. It started last Friday, and obviously it started very late because yeah, well, basically most people start in the US, so they have more time. For me, the Friday was already over because it was 11 p.m. when we finally knew the theme, and yeah, there we are. You change into a dragon once every month. I know what that means. Yeah, yeah, AZ is much more easy for to remember and say. So I will never say anything else anymore. Every time I see you come in, you're AZ. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Especially since I've had nothing but technical issues since I've started. So I hope you guys will bear with me and are not too keen on moving on when things are slow. Because this laptop today, it really doesn't want to cooperate with me. I've been losing the camera every single time. My laptop crashed just before I started started streaming. I mean, it just doesn't want to do it. So yeah. Anyway, I was looking actually before I started with my skyboxes. I was actually looking for some terrain that I can use some materials, textures basically. So hand painted grass and I say that's probably exactly what I need. Hand painted grass and ground textures. Maybe I also have some snow textures. You will think about it. Yeah, that's fine, Dark Spirit. Give it a moment. Think it through. If you don't want to stay here, don't stay. It's fine. Cannot make anyone stay. I don't want to make anyone stay. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a relaxed guy. This is supposed to be a relaxed stream. You're supposed to have fun here, and if you don't have fun or don't want to have fun, hey, that's your choice. You don't have to have anything. Sand easy. Yeah, all sand would be very easy, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't like that. It also gives me a chance basically to show you how this works, this terrain editor, and then maybe you will understand why I find it sometimes a little bit cumbersome to use. It's not that I think it's terrible. I mean, you can definitely do a lot with it, but You like to see me fail, huh? Yeah, yeah. Succeed, succeed, succeed. Anyway, I don't have the illusion that I will create the next masterpiece here because I don't, only have limited time. But I want to show you guys what is possible in a pretty short time because you can basically do many things in a short time, even if your laptop doesn't want to cooperate. So fortunately, I am not bad with talking. So anytime you think that oh it's taking forever, it's taking forever, that's why I talk so much. So you guys are entertained while this is happening. So yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble painting everything and making sure everything looks nice. Hopefully, I get the camera to work also a little bit better, and everything will be a little smoother in the end. If not, then it's a masterpiece. That's a. I'm gonna. Can I can I register that one? A masterpiece. My goodness, that one is great. It's an absolute masterpiece. Yeah. Right. I have too many packs that I have, but basically that's I don't use them all the time, of course. So I need to have a look at what everything is. But I know that I had something with snow textures as well, and I think the tops of mountains to be snow is usually pretty nice. 50% royalty. Well, that means we will have to work together a lot than expected if we want to have royalty from me. Because, yeah, just, well, I'm not expecting to go anywhere anytime soon. So, yeah, so here you have a lot of stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff you can get for free, basically from all sorts of packs and like RPG cameras and controllers and stuff like that, and medieval themes. There, if my laptop would be stronger, I would be able to create such beautiful 3D games. No, it still would not be able to do that because I cannot make that for shit. I really have no clue what I'm doing in 3D. So, terrain textures pack. Maybe that has some ice. I don't know. Let's import it. Da 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 dee da 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 dee 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 dee. I have no idea how many people are at the moment in stream because yeah, I was rated with 12 people. I never had that in my life. I still have to get used to it. Wow, there's so many people here. What so nice. If you're new here and you want to say something or you want to ask me questions, please don't hesitate to do so. I don't bite, at least not without request. So um, have fun here, I would say, and try to enjoy and yeah, if you plan on seeing this again, don't hesitate to hit that follow button. I will never say no to more followers. I usually don't create stuff like this though. I'm as the description of my stream said, I'm working on my game Gaia, and Gaia is a 2D pixel art platformer game about my daughter, which is something that not a lot of people do, I think. So um, I can quickly show you guys. I think if I have it here, my main character of my game. I hope if she wants to work. Ah, yeah, of course she's behind. Yes, let me set this up. There you go. That's my main character of my game. I'll let her be there. Right? It's always nice if Gaia's watching. I like that. So now that's the character of the game that I'm actually normally working on, which is a 2D pixel art platformer about my daughter Gaia, who's gonna go to Greek mythology to help the goddess Gaia. So I might actually, but I don't know how many years I will take before I have this one done. And he's actually got a cameo in this game already. You have not seen him yet, and you might not see him because he might be off screen, but he's there. So, in the first level at least, he's gonna make an entrance. As well as I. I'm also gonna be in there. Also off screen. At least that's it in my mind so far. So yeah, that's what I usually do. So if you like pixel art creation and you don't mind somebody who's learning everything while he's doing it, then you came to the correct place. I would love to show you guys the things that I do for that game, how I'm hoping to create this game, what I have in my mind, and I can gladly walk you guys through it in other streams. So obviously not today, because today I'm working on another game, and I'm basically working on waiting a lot. So my patience is getting tested today. Unity usually is not very fast, but this is really insane. So yeah, good that I'm not afraid to talk, as otherwise this would become a very boring stream where we're just looking at a importing bar. So sorry for that, guys. I really don't intend to leave you waiting so long. Maybe there's some people who like code in the stream. If you do, then let me know so I can sometimes also switch over to the code and maybe show you some things. Um, so the reasoning behind things. I use a Surface 3 laptop that is, this one is from my work. Basically has no graphic card at all. So yeah, but unfortunately I have not got the funds at the moment to buy myself a better one or a better machine. I would prefer to have a standalone desktop machine in the end for doing this kind of work. But since I don't have it yet, I will have to make do with this. And yeah, especially in this kind of stuff, you can tell that it's got no graphics card. This is basically impossible to use. It's updating very slowly. You like to code, huh? Okay, Jeeper, let me show you the code. This is terrible. I really agree. But one thing you might like, if you also maybe like Unity, Jeeper, if you don't, please let me know. Um, but what I kind of hate in Unity, and I will switch back to Unity for that, is the animator web hell, basically. So for my game, there's absolutely no transformations here, and it will not be any, because I'm just going to do an animation state machine here. So I will just have the different states, walk forward, and any other state that we will have, and I just do animator play and tell it which one to do, with the correct conditions, of course. What I did here is I made a virtual input manager, and this virtual input manager is basically not very special, but it uses a singleton, and that singleton can take basically any type of class. So it doesn't matter for this virtual input manager whether you do a keyboard manager or you do controller input or I don't care, whatever you want to do, mouse input. You can make anything work. It just passes it through. The virtual input manager will handle the rest. So the code for actually the character controller at the moment is terrible. I'm not happy with this yet, but it's just basically for having him move and for having him jump, and I will definitely refactor it. Um, and in case you're wondering, I also use namespaces. So basically, this is a Dragon Spirit Games game, and I will call it Parallel Paradox. Um, I like the iteration of Parallel Paradox, so call me a nerd, but I like that. And yeah, basically, what you do here, of course, is check for the instance. If there's no instance, then check for make the instance and return it. So I think for most of you guys, the ones that like, oh, this should be pretty familiar. The keyboard input does basically nothing. Just gets the code D and A and does something with true and false. That's it. And the virtual input manager only has a move left and a move right at the moment. Yeah, that is very nice, Jeeper. Do you have any specific kind of game that you're planning to make? And if you want to tell me about it, please do. I really would love to know. I'm I'm a big fan of games that have some meaning. So My game is supposed to have a lot of meaning. The one that I will make next to this one, of course. Um, and yeah, uh, go ahead and lurk unexpected. That is also important. Real life calling. So I guess your kids need you or something, and that's all fine. Just happy that you're here. Anyway, yeah, there's not much going on yet, which you can probably understand. This all I did so far is set up this little bit of scene, and I just want to have something that it looks something good. A simple one, yeah. I made the mistake of starting with a 2D pixel art platformer that has at least 10 levels in Greek mythology and one level in the Netherlands, Amsterdam. So I don't think that qualifies as a simple one. But I was just thinking that I like it so much because my daughter's name is Gaia, and well, Gaia is obviously based on Greek mythology because she's the goddess of the earth, Mother Earth to be exact, and that's why I wanted to make a game about it. I actually tried once a game jam, um, and that was also a little bit about Greek mythology, but it was called was about Prometheus Torment, basically. And what that game would be is a game about Prometheus who escapes the eagle who every night eats his liver and goes for revenge in different levels. Basically, that was what I had in mind back then. The idea was good. We had some things that already worked, but I was way too inexperienced to make anything decent. So I got some movement going. I got a Cyclops in there and an eagle there, um, and my Prometheus character. So I have those, but I was trying to make a swinging mechanic, and I couldn't at the time. So basically, it went into the trash can. I still have it, but it's not good. So it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, you cannot have it all, right? Even my cursor is wrong. This is so crap. Anyway, yeah, I will definitely get to coding more later. But at the moment, I'm gonna have to focus a little bit on getting the look and feel of the level a bit better. So I'm gonna paint some terrain stuff. And I was thinking of making some textures here, not painting trees, painting terrain, not raise or lower, but paint texture. And if you've never done this before, this might be also new for you. Persephone and Hades story, at least in the way I interpret it. Well, there will be at least Hades in my levels in Gaia, because that's one of the levels I have planned. I have a level planned about Hades, I have a level planned about Ares, I have a level planned about Zeus, I have a level planned about Aphrodite, about Dionysus. So there's still a lot going on and still a lot that I have to design because I also want all the levels to be really so sorry guys, a reflection of the gods that are the the bosses of those levels. So if you have a level with Dionysus, you can expect a lot of wine and grapes and food and songs and laughter, but there's always something off in every level because that's the main thing in my game. I want to have everybody know that there's something wrong with the world. And that's why Gaia, the goddess Gaia, needs my daughter Gaia to come help her. Because basically, in Greek mythology, everyone who knows Greek mythology would know this most likely, but the gods are not allowed to fight each other. So even though Gaia is the mother of all the gods, she cannot interfere and she doesn't like where the world is going. So she wants to have people help her. So that is what I will do with the game Gaia. It has a lot of work for me to come, and it also will be available for people with disabilities. So there's a lot of work there too, because I'm going to have to do the voice acting for it. Well, of course, positional audio. So you're going to have have a lot of different features of Unity and use it very well. And a lot of the those things I will have to learn as I go along. But you know, Pippi Longstockings always said it. I have never done it before, so I'm sure I can do it. And I'm the same. I'm sure I can do it. I'll just figure it out. So, in case you've never used this before, this might be interesting for you guys to see what you can do. Well, as you can see, I just painted some terrain, right? And terrain is like raise or lower terrain. I did that. You can make holes also. You can set the height, smooth out the height, make stamps. There's some simple things that you can plant on there. What I'm going to do now is paint textures. And as you can see, at the moment, I have no textures. A terrain layer is a texture. Um, and to edit that, you just have to create a layer first. And you're going to look for a layer. I have a lot of them, I guess, but I don't know which one to use. Something with grass, most likely, first. What should I do, guys? Should I do a grass or should I go more for dirt? What do you guys think? Should I go for a dirt layer or... Let me see what dirt I have. I have several dirts. Clay, dark red, dirt corrupted. What's this one? What is that? Corrupted, right. Corrupted up. Not sure if that's gonna work. Clay, dark red, up. I don't know why is it saying anything like up. Anyway, let's... Grass can be a good idea, so let's start with grass then. We can always go for dirt and stuff like that later, right? Grass, dark down. Grass, corrupted, grass, grass, grass. There's so many grasses. Grass UV01. No, that looks horrible. I guess this. Let me see. So basically, it first paints everything in one color already. As you can see, this already looks a little bit more like a terrain, right? And to make sure that you can play around with the brush size and the opacity if you want to actually paint with it. So for now, I'm going to add some extra layer, and that will be a dirt layer then in this case. Don't know which dirt I will use, but it will be a dirt. Um, let's say dark red, and that one it doesn't automatically paint, so that is a little easier. You've never done anything other than follow tutorials. You know, everybody starts there, and it's fine. The only thing I would maybe recommend is that if you're using tutorials, don't just follow along with what they do. Um, as very tempting as that can be, you will not learn a thing, and it's for you also not nice to do that, because basically, yeah, you're gonna just copy what they say. And personally, I don't like doing that because I want to do it myself. Anyway, I'm now gonna try and make sure that I get some color going. Should work. It's just like a Windows demo, right? Whenever you want to show it, it doesn't work. I was expecting now to get some terrain going, and oh, I didn't select the tool. That was weird. I'm sure I did, though. Didn't I? I had that tool selected. Well, as you can see now, this is starting to change a little bit in color. I have a very small brush size, so I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger, because otherwise you cannot see shit. Um, ooh, I said the bad word. If I tell that to my daughter, she would kill me, because I always tell her that she can't. And she'd be right if, if she would tell me something about that, because... Anyway, and also I will upgrade the opacity a little bit. So now you will see that this goes a little faster. And because I'm creating different layers, it starts to look a little bit more interesting, right? Um, so I usually try and create some different textures on those hills so that you can have a bit of a feel for what this is going to look like. Um, I will turn this camera a few times because basically what is most important to me right now is the part where you can actually see. Um, and I really don't care about anything that I don't see here. Um, I have a follow camera on, and I can show you later what it would look like if I lift this guy up a little bit. I might do that so you guys have a bit of an idea of what that does to your environment. And this is why I find this cumbersome. I really find this annoying because every time I do that, I have to select again the terrain, then select again the tool, then select again this layer, and now I can start painting again. But I have to drag it along multiple times because if I don't, this will never work. So, see, because I have to change my tool, boom, gone. Gone is my editor. Terrain, bam, there we go. Now I can do it again. So, I also will have to figure out, but I don't think that's for now, maybe later when I'm not streaming. I will have to figure out why I could still walk through the terrain because it has a collider, and the collider should prevent me from walking through the terrain. But maybe it's also because I need a rigid body. I'm not sure about that yet. Um, but I'm supposed to be able to collide with this, and at the moment I'm not. I'm going to create an extra layer again because I want to have some dirt road like thing here. Let me see, a little lighter dirt. So like lighted rocks or something. So good. So we need to select that layer again. That's always important. And that's the stuff that I usually forget. It's funny that when you do it online, you start to have uh, much more understanding of how you're doing it. But if you're doing a tutorial, then you do it wrong also. You have an approach for tutorial learning that I'm pretty comfortable with. Just need time. 1. Read the tutorial beginning to end. 2. Follow the tutorial verbatim, which often includes debugging issues. Try to reproduce a tutorial from memory, but referencing the tutorial is needed, but less and less on each iteration. +1. Add things to the final thing and make changes to existing things to learn more. Yeah, I would never say that that's not a good way of doing it. Basically, I think that everybody has their own way of learning. I love learning. I have way too many courses, I could tell you already. Um, I still have a lot that I still want to do. I've never done them yet, but I want to do them. So, um, but yeah, I learn basically on the go. I try, I do a tutorial, I see a video. Basically, I watch them and I'm not trying sometimes to do them at that time because if I would do them at that time, then I lose my focus because I'm watching. I'm 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 trying to reproduce something that somebody is doing in that video. I have to stop all the time, and if I stop, then I don't have my focus anymore, and that is what I don't like personally. But I can imagine that everybody has a different way of learning. I personally prefer basically to see it a few times, then try to understand what they're doing, and then doing it myself. Um, and I just noticed that I don't like the way this terrain looks, so I'm gonna have a little bit of lowering happening here. I have to do shift left click. That's what I always forget. Basically, a lot of it is just reading what it says, right? Because this, for some reason, looks weird. There you go. That's better. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for just a few months, and I must say I'm not unhappy with what I've learned so far. Um, I think I already know why we're not having the terrain be something that I can walk on, and that's probably the nav mesh. But where the heck did we put that again? Um, rendering, no. Anyway, I think we're gonna figure that out. Not text mesh pro because that's just text. There's a place where you do that, but I'll figure that out. But you have to bake basically the terrain that the person can walk on. Um, and now I'm only using basically the terrain as a base. I'm not gonna really use the terrain for everything. Um, I just want my player to walk on it, and from there we will see what we do with it. But I'm going to make platforms and stuff like that. For the platforms, I will definitely be needing things like Blender. But yeah, that is gonna suck because I'm not so great at using that. At least not so far. And I still have this weird little thing there that I don't understand where it comes from. I don't see it here. Uh, Maybe there? Where is it? Where is it? It's here somewhere. Oh, there. Because it looks a bit weird, right? There's like a gap. There's maybe I can use it. It's just a fold, a crack in time or something like that. It's the other dimension peeking through. Anyway, I've just only done a little bit of painting of terrain, but you can already see that this does a lot for your output. No, of course, Dark Spirit, you missed nothing. As you can see, nothing happened, nothing changed. Just a little terrain. And I gave it a little bit of color, a little bit, just to show off a little bit how the terrain tool works. And I'm going to have to smooth the heights and the terrain, I guess. So, for example, this needs some smoothing. So, don't want it that high, just a little. And the thing that with the terrain tool, hey Letterborn, hi, nice to have you also in my stream. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you're doing wonderful. Um, Sorry that the title of the stream today is completely misleading because my laptop crashed just before I started the stream. It was I'm doing something completely different today. I'm working on a game jam game for the Game Dev TV Game Jam, and I'm trying to make a 2.5D platformer game. So doing quite different than normal, and I'm going to use the 3D terrain tool to actually paint my world a little bit easier and get the 3D parallaxing automatically. So just trying to have a shortcut with the game. But basically, the guy is still going to walk only in 2D. Gonna have to make sure that he cannot even move from there. But yeah, it's today's technical issues everywhere. As I can just see, my laptop, my camera stopped working again as well. I'm so sorry that it's all technical difficulties today, but I'm doing my best to make it work. Work? Yeah, there you go. Don't see all this scrap. It's terrible. There we go. We're back. At least it's okay, but hope it gets better. Yeah, you didn't say anything about that, Dark Spirit. What's wrong? You know, you're always allowed to say anything here, right? You know, you're here in a safe environment. Everything is fine. You can tell me whatever you want to tell. So, was navigation, was it right? There was something there. Where is it? Where is it? AI, maybe? Yes. Mm, navigation, walkable, object, bake. So, um, what we saw before is that I could walk still through the terrain. That is obviously not the idea. You don't want to do that. But because I have no nav mesh yet, and that's what it's called, a navigation mesh, you can still walk through everything. What you want to do is add your navigation, and as you can see, I just found it. It's in AI navigation. Moved a little bit. Yes, that is my game's character at the moment. It's just a free thing. I just downloaded that. It's a free character model. Um, your boss wanted to give you a contract for 6 months only after what I'm doing for them. I feel not much appreciated from them. Yeah, well, the only advice I could tell you there, Dark Spirit, is I've learned throughout my career if you're not happy somewhere, look for another place. I'm not saying you should move immediately, but start to look for options. If they're treating you bad, um, I mean, basically giving you a 6 month contract after you've worked really hard for them, for me, that's treating you bad. Um, then they really should not have you. They don't deserve you. So I would suggest have a look around, see if there's anything else that you wanna do. What happens then? The terrain calculator doesn't work. The character passes out the terrain, or you can pass the terrain in edit mode. No, basically, I can do it without baking. You will see it. Um, Basically, I can walk straight through it, and that looks pretty awful. Um, and I said I will show you, but you know how small, how slow my laptop is today. So sorry about that, guys. We're gonna have to wait again until it finds its moment that it wants to really work. It's it's reloading the scripts and it will be busy probably. Oh, it's not so long this time. 29 seconds. But it's a record. Last time it was like 50 something before it started to build. Anyway, once this is built, then you will be able to see if it updates quick enough that when you walk, everything seems fine until I go to the terrain. Look, I'm gone. I'm in the terrain. I can walk straight through this. And you guys still don't see that. I do, but you guys don't. Hmm. Anyway, now you do. There you go. It's a little later, but I can walk straight through my terrain, and I don't think you guys want to see me walk straight through terrain. I don't think that's the idea, and that doesn't make for a very nice game. So I'm gonna have to fix that. So there we go. And now that I know again where to do that, it's not so hard. So I'll just press bake, and you will see everything that we can walk on turn blue. No, the terrain basically has a collider, um, and it's a terrain collider, and then your player has a box collider. Um, Still, will have to become a capsule collider, but yeah, that's something I can do later. I'm not too worried about doing that at the moment, but it should have already baked, but I don't see it. Show nav mesh, show height mesh, maybe there. I was kind of expecting to already see the blue parts, but or didn't it bake yet? Oh, it's still building the nav mesh. Okay. How did I expect it to be already done after all the slowness it's experiencing today? I don't understand that. Should never have expected that. Anyway, here you can see now that it's baked, I cannot walk on a lot of things, but I can walk on some. So let me try this again. And we should see, once it's built, again, have some patience. Maybe I should put really elevator music in this stream. Baking the IA navigation will not fix the problem because that is for the NavMesh agent, not the player. Fix the collider error on terrain. You need to attach a rigid body to the main character. Okay, thank you, AZ. I will ask. That sounds terrible. I should say AZ. Anyway, um, at least it also fixes that you cannot walk on certain areas, and it will just bounce off of that. But yeah, I will add a rigid body to my character as well. Let me see what it does now. Probably right. Yep, I can still walk straight through it. Anyway, this also will work later for AI. So if you have enemies, they cannot walk on certain slopes. I thought I heard my daughter cry, but I think it's a pigeon. It's really hard with your headphones on. It sounded for a moment like it was a pigeon, like a person. I don't know if you guys hear it, but it's a pigeon. Anyway, back to the inspector because now I'm in navigation. I don't want to do that. So yeah, indeed, I only have a box collider and not a rigid body on this, and it should not be a rigid body 2D, what I'm always used to, but a rigid body normally. And then we have to probably be careful that it doesn't fall through anything. But let's see. No, I'm not comparing my daughter to a flying red, but it sounded like crying. Really, those pigeons, when you have your headphones on, are really hard to distinguish from something. I also hear some coughing, though. There's something going on down there. Okay, this is something I normally would not do in the stream, especially, but I'll throw it on my different window. You guys don't need to see that. Might be that my wife is saying something. I think there's definitely some crying going on. And my wife asked for something else, but okay. At least, let me see how we're doing now. As you can see, I'm now suddenly floating in thin air because of a box collider that is there. And the box collider, as I have something underneath me that shouldn't be there, so. Well, it's something that we figure out later. That's not for now. At least we're walking, skywalking now. Wow, that's cool. But I still don't have. Ooh, we're falling down. Bye bye. Okay, so that didn't fix it. So that is something I will figure out later. No, no reason to do it now. And the don't destroy unload should already be gone. So this is actually incredibly slow. Anyway, we saw already that there's some things wrong here because my character is basically in thin air, which should not be happening. I'm going to remove his box collider and replace it with a capsule collider. And this capsule collider, I will have to edit a little bit. Which is probably the same that I had before with the box collider, was not in the correct spot. So that's why I was walking in the air. And for this, you always have to move a lot, and that's why I hate 3D. You can disable the gravity on the rigid body component. Yes, but it still should not walk straight through my scene. Anyway, that is something I will figure out. I don't see the bottom part of my collider. I want to align it basically with his feet, more or less, and move it in a little bit. And if you're wondering why do you put it so narrow, is so that I don't get stuck in levels easily. Because basically it's a bit weird if you would just collide with something that you don't see. Hey, ITC Studios, that is so nice that you're also here. How are you doing? How is your game coming along? I saw your stream a while ago and it was looking pretty good. So I'm hoping you're doing good. Did you just stream? Anyway, welcome in the stream. I'm sorry it's a bit misleading today. It's not about Gaia today because we're trying to build a Game Jam game. And this Game Jam game is going to be instead of a 2D pixel art platformer, it's going to be a 2.5 D platformer and not pixel art. So I'm trying myself something new, and yep, that's what I'm doing. So if you came here for the pixel art, I'm sorry to disappoint you today. It was not my intention, but my laptop crashed just 1 second basically before I got into streaming. I was supposed to start at 8, and like 5 minutes before it was starting to do difficult things, and then boom, crash. Been working on created NPCs. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna have to tune in to you when you stream again. Let me know if you what your schedule is. I cannot always look at everyone's schedule because I follow a lot of people, but I'd gladly come have a look. And if you don't know her, I don't have anything planned yet, but I would say go follow ITC Studios for sure. She makes some pretty cool content. Jesus Christ, my voice is terrible today. Just like my laptop. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, it's absolutely slow. But we have a walking animation going on. We have a follow camera here. We have some parallaxing going on. Some weird artifacting here in the world because, of course, I'm still not doing everything great. But you stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday. Well, there should be at least one of those days that I can follow along. Well, there we go. We fell through the world again. This is going to be something I have to figure out, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now because I also want to continue painting the world. And the theme is life in 2 dimensions. And my game will be about a guy who can turn into a dragon, basically. And this dragon will have to solve some studio parts, some parts of puzzles that the human basically can't, and the other way around. So you will probably get some obstacles like bushes that you have to use fire to take them out, or fly over it if it's too high. Because I don't want to do a double jump in this one, I just do a single jump. Basically, even if your humanoid form, once you switch to the other form, uh, then you just can go to the other one. And if you're as a human, you can do other things than you can do as a dragon. So you have to help each other basically, yourself, because you are both human and dragon. That's the idea. Yeah, yeah. I think the themes are very funny, and this is a very broad one. I saw already someone who was working on it today, and he make a 2D platformer that is pretty simple in its style, just 2 colors, white and black, and it changes color when you change the dimension. But you can go um, upside down or normal. It was looking pretty cool. Um, and yeah, I don't think I can make it go morph into it. That would be absolutely awesome if I can do that, but I will definitely be able to switch to a different character, maybe with an effect like a poof or something, and then you're something else. Um, but yeah, that's basically what I think of. And yeah, I had no chance to do anything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I'm super far behind. It's only 10 days. I'm already on day 3, and this is the first time I'm having some chance to work on this. So I'm gonna have to work really fast. But on the other hand, I don't want to rush anything. If I don't finish it like perfect, then I think I might have this as a secondary project that I just uh, keep working on later. Ah, come on. My laptop is so slow that I keep. It's 10 days in total, ITC Studios. It's just 10 days. So not super long, but also not super bad. I mean, this is something you can really work with. Um, I hate those ones when they're just 2 days. In 2 days, you can basically not really create anything. Not for a game jam, if you ask me. Nobody does, but if you would ask me, I would tell you that there's pretty much not much that you can do. Um, have to fix this because I think this is where things go a little weird. There's some. Oh, I hate the terrain tool. Basically, won't sleep for 2 days. Well, I have kids and a wife, and that I just wish, but I can't do anymore. I have to take care of my kids, so there's no way I can just say, you know what, I will not sleep these days. I will just finish this game no matter what. That's something I would do before, but not now. But I'm gonna make the best out of it. That's all I can do. And what I was doing before, I will paint some textures again. Oh, that was the wrong texture. I didn't want to paint that one. This is gonna basically make sure I have some terrain here and make it look a little interesting. I will add some extra textures because I have some more, so to make it look a little dynamic when you're going through. I will first probably make some basic platforms, like platforms that are actually just 3D objects, the standard 3D objects, and then see if I can make something in Blender, although I am absolutely not a Blender person. Uh, you would probably laugh if you see me work anything in Blender. It's pathetic. It's really, really pathetic. Anyway, I don't want my character to be going up that hill, most likely, so I'm gonna try and make that a little higher. Because he has to start somewhere, right? And here you see again an example of how incredibly fast that tool goes up. Hey, Irish John Games, thank you for the follow. That is very nice. I can always use more followers, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. Um, I'm just a simple guy trying to learn game development, and because of that, I'm doing stuff like this. In this case, a game jam game that I'm making for Game Dev TV. In case you know that, um, I'm definitely not the greatest game developer of all time, and I don't feel like I will ever be, and I don't care. Uh, anything to make you feel better about yourself. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know Letterborn yet, I don't think there's many of you guys out here that don't know her, but Letterborn makes some stuff in Blender. She also plays a lot of Minecraft lately, so you should definitely have a look at her profile. She's a very nice person to be around. She's very soft, very well spoken, and has a very nice air when she's. Oh, hello, this go 12345. Thank you for following. This is going very nicely. I'm getting a lot of followers today. I'm really enjoying that. Thank you, thank you. I hope that is because you guys are enjoying this stream. I'm doing my best. I'm having a lot of problems with my laptop today, but I'm gonna make it as much as I can without being too terrible. Texture grass, texture dirt. I'm looking for something snow or something, but I cannot find one. Let me see if there's any snow. Snowy. Hmm. But that's not that. That's unfortunately not my textures. Mm, gravel maybe? No. And I'm looking for grave. That's really nice, right? Yeah, I'm starting to grow. If I didn't have no streams for a few days in the beginning of the last period of 30 days, I probably would have made it to associate already. Just have now 2 days that I need to stream more and need to average at least 3 viewers per stream. Once I have that, basically, I will become associate and have some more options. Then you guys can subscribe if you want and stuff like that. That makes it also a little bit more interesting. Can do more things. It could even give you the options of getting your own emotes in the stream. You know, that's always nice. Could even make them. Maybe I can make something out of that. No, that you can use points or bits or whatever to to maybe claim your own little what do we call it? Your own little emotes in the game or in the chat. Anything that you want, basically. There's a lot of things that we can do. I was also thinking before, and I told this already in one of my streams that for my game Gaia, I might be able to do something that in the first level you can be, if of course I get a good picture of you, I can make you into pixel art character and have you in the game, like walking around as an extra, like you have in films, right? So you won't be really a part of the game, but you'll be an NPC. You'll be walking around the game just to give it some identity. The first level, at least that once it's in Amsterdam, I can have people walk around in it, right? So it might be something to do. Um, yeah, it would be so much fun to play around with. Yeah, it's like a game on its own. I hope so, Letterborn. I really hope so. It's gonna open up a lot of options for me as well. I've always said to all those designers, and there's plenty of designers that come around. Um, yeah, sure, guys. I would love for you guys to be able to design me something, but I cannot afford it right now. It's basically until this game um, makes money for itself, then basically I cannot do that. It's not fair to my wife and kids because there's yeah the money that I would use on it would have to go basically normally to my wife and kids. Um, so I've always said it like new equipment, new things, anything that I need for making this game a success, it has to generate itself. It has to, yeah. I cannot take it out of my kids. My kids will have to have their food. They have to have their fruits. They have to have their things that they need. Um, yeah, I'm developing. I mean, I'm getting slowly better. Um, these kind of things I used to have no clue what to do. Um, so also here I'm learning a lot. Lately, I dare to say that I know at least how to use this terrain tool. Um, when I did this before, I was doing a course on how to make your own RPG. Stupid, right? Let's start with with making an RPG when you basically have no clue what to do. What the heck just happened? That was not the idea. Okay. Yeah, my kids are indeed fruit monsters. Uh, True story. My son, you don't know my son, but my son Luca, he can seriously, and I don't say this as a joke. This is absolutely true. He can eat at least a net of mandarin in one day. Mandarins. That is insane. We went last Sunday. We went on a car ride to Zeeland to the beach, and we had a bag full of apples, and only one was left when we came back. So yeah, my kids like fruit, which is good. I'm happy that they like fruits more than candy. Although my daughter is also really good in wanting candy, she will ask for it all the time. Um, so yeah, but that's normal. You're a kid. You're supposed to like candy. I don't care. It's all good. So there's also some things that you will see in the foreground. I'm gonna have to paint those too. What I'm kind of interested in is what that will look like if we go through that. So basically what I will want to do most likely is to lower the terrain a little bit for the 2D part. So I'll have to do a shift here. So actually you can keep walking and it's not that you're gonna fall through the terrain because that would be terrible. But we should be able to see some front and back. And now of course I have a very small brush size, that's not very nice. So this will go a lot faster like that. So make myself a little path here. Still can call myself Bob Ross, I guess. So, oh, this camera. Oof. If there's anyone who's very good at this, but your daughter, the only thing left of the apple are the seeds. Yeah, yeah. Seriously, she leaves nothing. Even the inside of the apple goes. I seen a lot of people who like fruits, but my kids really they enjoy their fruits a lot. So okay, this should be that you can pass through this. That means you will go behind this mountain for a little bit. You will have things in the foreground and the background. I will paint some more textures on the rest of this here. So we have some different look. Let's create some extra color there and do that a little smaller again. So it's just like detailing. And no, this is definitely not a good looking terrain. Thank you, ITC Studios. Go ahead and lurk. Always fine. I'm happy you're here. I hope you enjoyed your time. And I'm gonna try and see if I can see the parallaxing also in the front a little bit. So let's see where we go. Oh yeah, I forgot that takes a while. Ay ay ay. So kids, don't try this at home. Don't try this on a laptop that has no graphical power. It really will destroy your time. So I'm gonna also keep the scene view open because I want to see where it goes in the terrain and if this looks like I want. So basically, he should be walking. We should have something in front. Yep, and there we are falling through. Okay, so my line that I was walking is not exactly straight. Anyway, we have some landscape. We can do something with this. I think we're gonna make some platforms now, some very easy ones. So I'm gonna just create an empty object here so I can put in some platforms. And in that I will create a new 3D object. And it will basically be a cube. We have a floating cube. People, we have a floating cube. I think we're already now going very well. Anyway, that floating cube we can call a platform. This is the funniest thing. If you are pretty sure of your typing skills but are not 100% sure that it worked the way you wanted it to. So in this case it's the z-axis. I don't know, for whatever reason it's not the y-axis, but it's the z-axis. I wasn't expecting that, so the first time I did my script for following camera it went totally the wrong way. I was not visible at all. So um, that will make it super thin, as you can see. What? Starting soon? Oh, okay. That was not the intention. Apparently, I cannot type my numbers because then I switch my stream to another view. Anyway, I can do it like this also. Maybe you can round that off because I can do some 4.5. I don't want it to be very high, so it is going to be 0.3. And I want the scale for this to be like 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, then let's make it 3 because I don't have a screen at 3. I think 4 then. 4. And then I will have to move this a little bit. So it's actually in my way and I can jump on it. We have to lower that. That is why, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go down, 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 down. So this is basically gonna be just for testing purposes, right? I'm not intending to make this the final look, but just to have some idea of how it will work. 0.3, I might even find that too thick. I don't know about you guys, but I think I want it thinner. This looks a little better. Skill 4 I think is also too much. 3.5 maybe. I really should think about how I set that up in OBS because I had shortcut keys for 1, 2, 3, 4 for changing my type of screen. And there you go, my camera again. You guys are not seeing any mess when it comes back. You don't see it. It's not there. It's not there. I have no mess here. There you go. You should tell me if you don't see me, right? Let me see. Okay. Now I will have to do some jumping then. So we're gonna have to go to the character controller here. Come on. And yes, I know this is terrible. Please don't sue me. Please don't sue me. But I'm gonna have to do my virtual input manager. I'm gonna have to have jump. I always feel super self-conscious when I do code because I'm supposed to be able to code pretty okay. And then if people are watching, it's always something you get self-conscious about. At least I do. Then we will have to have this game object transform dot translate. Wouldn't be so bad if my laptop wasn't so damn slow. Up. Jump strength, which I have to define still. Time delta time. And for those of you who are not so familiar with code, and I think there's always people who are not so familiar with code, time.delta time basically makes sure that you are always going to have the same kind of speed. The thing is that these things always work with an update script, and an update happens once every frame. So if you have a very fast PC, you're doing many more frames per second than when you have a slower PC. At the moment I have a very slow PC. For me, everything is now very slow. But the time, the delta times, is going to make sure that no matter if you have a fast or a slow PC, it basically reacts the same. So if you ever wonder about what is that time, dot delta time, that's what that does. Now I will make here another serialized field. I'm somebody who comes from a programming background, and I hate if I don't need to use a public variable to make it public. I see a lot of people in tutorials do that anyway. But for me, I would say, let's start with 8f. I have no clue if that's going to be enough, but I will figure that out. 8f, basically this notation means that this is a floating point decimal. I could also put in here 8.5. But if I leave the f out, it will say that it's wrong. It's not allowed. So this is a floating point, and because I have it serialized field, this will show up in the editor later. So once this is built and we look at the character controller, we will see a jump strength parameter that you can set. So I set it initially to a force of 8, but if somebody would, or me, if I would be later testing, I say 8, that's a little bit much. I basically jump all over the field. Then I will be able to basically change that in game, and you wouldn't be able to do that if you don't have that. So doesn't need anything else here at the moment. No, we don't have rotation. Basically, what you see here with the move left and the move right, that is mean the quaternion. And really, if you don't know this, don't worry about it. It's really a lot of mathematics. Quaternions are a study in its own. If I want to explain the quaternions to you guys, then we would not have time for anything else, because you could have a course on that and still not get it. Basically, what you need to know is that quaternion Euler is the rotation that I'm setting here. So basically, what I'm saying here is change your direction with 180 degrees, so go the other way. So that's why move right is 0. We're going this way. Whoop, that's this way. You cannot see my hand here. This way, and then we go 180 degrees the other way. So we go that way. That's basically what that does. And we will not have an animation for this yet, but I will try to create that in a moment, because we have an animation on that character. I just don't know what it's called, so we'll have to look for that. So let me go to Unity. I have my blink guy, and he has a jumps, has a falling, a lot of things. You have walk backward, walk forward. Let me see, jumps while running. He also has jump, jump all, jump down, jump up. Well, let's start with jump up, right? Gonna have to start with something. So I would say that this is gonna become jump up. Let's see if I can preview it. Okay, what it looks like if I jump all. What is jump all? Okay. Jump down. What does that do? Okay, yeah, drop down. That sounds pretty logical. So let me go to my animator, and here you're gonna see the advantage of what I told you guys before. I don't have to do very difficult. What I have to do basically is make sure it's here. That's all. That's all I will do in my animator, because I don't want to have anything to do with changing these lines like transitions. The ones who came in later, basically normally what you do this. You have a make transition, you go there, then you say if my parameter is move and it's true, that means you have to do the walk forward animation. But I hate those things because this becomes a spider web in no time. And what I do is do this in a state animation state machine. So basically what I will tell it is here is I want to use the jump up animation. So I will do that. If not, and not, exclamation mark means not, and if I'm not moving, moving left or moving right. I will put that in brackets and just do it a little bit easier because I don't want to type everything if I don't have to. I am lazy as I can be. So basically that's what you're gonna check. And of course I didn't check it yet, but this should work. Not yet though, because we don't have a keyboard input yet for jumping. And that's what we're gonna do here. So we're going to have to put a little bit more effort here because this is why this code is terrible. But I'm going to make input.get key code dot space, and that's basically if I press the space bar, my virtual input manager instance jump is true. There you go. Took a little bit of a moment to compile. I was like, why is that not correct? But it was. And then that basically should not need anything else. Yeah, well, I'll just put the else. Else virtual jump is false. And you can also write this in shorter notation, by the way, if you like that better. There's plenty of people who do. So one example would be to write it like question mark colon. At least that should work. I probably missed something. What did I do wrong? Fix return type. There's no return type. Ah, well, whatever. I like it better the other way at the moment anyway. How long I was planning to stream? Normally about 2 hours. I don't think I will do much longer than that anyway. Um, not 100% sure. Um, what? Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. Took the F off. That was not intended. Yeah, you can use the shorter if version also, but I usually don't like it that way anyway. So um, I prefer to see what I'm doing, and this is a little bit more clear. But there's a plenty of other ways to do this, and yeah, at least I have a singleton used because that makes it easier if I ever want to add other input to this than this. So now that it's still building this, it's done. Let's see if we can jump. I really am curious because you're off to bed yourself early today. Yeah, that's fine. Getting clients over tomorrow early. Will you put the game on itch or something when you're done? Yeah, definitely. That's where it's supposed to go. At least it might not be done yet, because considering that I don't have that many days to be able to work on this. But I probably will at least put something on there, something that's actually playable. Um, and after that, probably keep working on it a little bit. Maybe some other time. Um, so, Darkspear, have a great night. I hope you sleep very good, and remember, right? If your employee is not treating you well, don't spend too much time there. It's not worth it. Anyway, I want to see if I can jump. Nope, doesn't look like. Doesn't catch it. So why doesn't it catch it? That's something we have to debug, right? So my character controller has a jump strength, but it probably is not reaching the jump mechanic. We're getting all sorts of families here, and it's really nice. I like it. Yeah, so probably what I should do, it probably never reaches this. So Just to make sure that I get here or not get here, I'm going to put a debug.log. And debug.log basically gives you a chance to see what's happening. So usually I put like a bogus message here, like getting here. Because if I get in this part of the script, it should go to my instance jump, and if it goes to my instance jump, it should have my animation playing. But it doesn't, so um, that is something to figure out. Kind of done with job switching, so first getting some new experiences, and after a while using the knowledge for better work. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you should never go to worse work. That's not the best idea. And I'm sure you get it, man. I wish you a very great sleep. Don't worry too much about jobs and clients, even if the clients come over tomorrow. I hope the clients are nice though, so at least you might have a great day. So hope to see you again next time, man. At least one advantage: tomorrow I work from home again, so I don't have to really worry about my time too much. Okay, so it's been uh, built, so I can check it again. Just want to see if it actually triggers, because these kind of things are kind of basic, should not be that hard. And if it has to be, then I will change my complete input system. Not such a big problem. I can do that all the time. Eventually, thanks again. And yeah, work here is awesome. Sadly, too far from home. Ah, well, off now. Night, night. Poof. And he's gone. He's gone. It's getting there. See, that's why I like doing these kind of things. It's getting there. It's just not going up. Now I want to know, why are we not getting up? Because we should be, right? Transform, translate, vector 3 up. That's how I usually do it. Could be with velocity, but vector 3 up. So maybe I should also have a look at the player object and see its position. Because the script itself is not wrong. Vector 3 up is usually how you should be able to do that. Times drops. Because forward means I'm going to move forward, so up should be up. You get a question. When you raid someone, do you have to manually end the stream and go over to the other streamer yourself? Because that's what I had to do, and I was wondering if I made a mistake. Um, yes, you sort of have to. You type in the chat that you want to raid somebody, and you do actually raid. Um, However, you see your own stream still, but you also get the chat of the other person, as far as I know. Not 100% sure, but I think you get it. Um, Last time I did it, I think I was still stuck in my own chat, but I'm not 100% sure. And then you just, yeah, I went there to say hi and whatnot. But at least you just type rate in the name, and I think you already did that well. But yeah, I'm also inexperienced in that field. I just did it once or twice, and I think people like when you do it, but it, it confused me also. I was like, okay, am I talking to the other channel? But yeah, the rate, person to rate, yeah, stream in a different tab. Yeah, okay. So what you do, one line is basically already open the stream of the other person, then rate there, and then wait until it has sent you after, and then end your own stream. Because some people already end their stream, but the chat stays active, right? I'm also not 100% sure on this. This is also so new for me, but I'm trying to do it because I think it's very nice for other people, and especially this in the game dev community or people who play similar like games that that they get some more people to come watch them, and I think it's very nice. I really enjoy those moments. Anyway, I'm feeling that my brain is starting to get a little mushy. I think I should stop soon. Normally, I also stop at 10. You will go off the stream, AZ. Yeah, all will go well. It always does, you know. You just have to take some time to figure out the things that you didn't know yet. Or 3D is a new dimension for me, so I'm already living in two dimensions. So for me, this is also a very good experience to get something done. Uh, yeah, sure. I think I will go raid Irish John Games. He also raided me, so yeah, that's fine. I might want to still figure out why the Vector 3 up is not working because I think it should be, and I don't know about you guys, but I cannot usually take it when things don't work the way I planned. So I'm gonna check this for a second. Right and left and everything like move forward works, but the up doesn't. Maybe for some reason my up is not up. Those are the kind of questions I do not have an answer to. Thank you, AZ. And one lion, yeah, you can lurk as long as you want. If I'm here, I will stay here. But of course, I also need to sleep soon because I still have my day job tomorrow morning. You cannot sit there like a zombie. Well, you can, but basically not very nice. So, just to make sure that I'm not losing the work that I've already done, I'm gonna use my git commands. That takes a while also to load, and I think it's an important part also of making a game. A lot of people forget about this stuff, but it's also very important. So I'm going to put everything in GitHub right now. And that's something I don't usually have in my streams because I'm just creating some pixel art. And yeah, of course, pixel art you also have to save, and I do that also, but nobody ever sees that. This always so sucks. I think it's going well and then it doesn't. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this is the terminal window of. It's basically an upgrade of the PowerShell window that you have in Windows, um, and I upgraded that with a few extra things that I got from Scott Hanselman. If you ever are interested in doing something like this as well, because I used to do all my GitHub before using GitHub Desktop or stuff like that, but I found for some reason I had less control. So what I do now is basically I do everything in the command line, and that is not that hard. Well, probably I will make a mistake now that you guys are watching. You always have that, but basically I feel like it's a bit more in your own hands how you do it, and it's actually pretty easy, but slow. But I have a lot of materials that I downloaded, so of course that takes a while to add everything. See, that's also very good that I see this now. I know that I also have rocks. Hello, Posh. Indeed, Jeeper. Very well recognized. The first time I saw that, I was like, that I need to have. I need this. I need this in my life. Because I hadn't seen before ever that you could actually see the amount of files you still are behind or in front, or and this is so clear, and it basically doesn't. It negates the reason of having a visual representation of it. A very nice tool indeed. Except for when your laptop is slow as hell. Anyway, it works. Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't crash halfway. That would be a little sucky. But yep, if this works, then we will be able to check in. Oh, and maybe interesting for you guys to see. I will open that file in a moment. I already created a little bit of a README file to have an idea of what my game will be like. So yeah, I really thought about the levels and the things that I want to do with this game, and I'm really hoping I'm not biting off more than I can chew, which is very often the case. But yeah, it's a game dev jam, so let's try and see how far I get. It looks like it's crashing. I hope not, but oh, it's taking entirely too long. Anyway, let's. Oh, it's going. It's going. It was just a big one apparently. Grass UV, terrain texture, grass UV 01. That was the one that I didn't like. Yeah, please don't crash. I really hope it won't. Well, if it's only this that crashes, at least you guys don't have a problem. If my laptop crashes, then the stream crashes. That would be sucky. I really hope that doesn't happen. I like you guys too much. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Don't crash. Now I'm starting to sound like the Captain Coder, except for he sings to everyone who comes in and follows him. If I do that, then you guys will never follow me again. But that's also, he's not in the stream right now, I don't think at least, but if you don't follow the Captain Coder and you are somebody who likes coding, then you owe it to yourself to go to the Captain Coder on Twitch and follow this guy. He is such an amazing guy. He teaches 10 to 14-year-olds how to code, has a different project every week, and he does amazing things. And he's a super cool guy, so I really recommend him. It's hard not to sing during stream. It's not so hard if you know that you can't sing for shit, but I really cannot sing at all. I mean, I don't have the I don't have the illusion that what I do is considered singing. Basically, what I do is sound like a scarecrow. But then again, maybe somebody likes it because I've been told also that my art is okay. So I also didn't believe that. So the Captain Coder. You want me to type it for you? Because I can. At least I don't think I can use shoutouts yet. Let me try. No, that doesn't work yet. Anyway, the Captain Coder is his name, and you can follow him. And I really recommend him. He's yeah, awesome guy. He also does a lot of giveaways with some Captain Coder artifacts that you can get, and does networking and all that stuff in his games, and or not even just games. He makes everything. He's at the moment, I think, building something for Twitch, something for Streamlabs. So basically, for anyone who streams, it might be interesting. He's making code that does things that you would maybe normally do with the Streamlabs application and more. So I'm sure there's something for everyone there. And let's see. Oh, we're still working. Oh, there. We got it. There's 647 files in this. So now we do a git commit. And it remembers what I said last time. So that's not what I'm doing this time. Edit some terrain. And some movement adjustments. That's the only thing I don't like. You don't see that it sticks together. It's on the next line, but it doesn't really matter. And for some reason, there's still something there that shouldn't be there. Oh, this day is really bad with my laptop. I personally find your singing better than his. Well, thank you, Jeeper. That's a very big compliment, I would say. And most people would probably not do this, but I have my Git using a password, and I have to remember that anything that is a number basically makes my stream go to a different look. That was not intended, but there's as you can tell, there's a number in my password. Well, you have to have a password that's safe, right? So there's numbers and everything in there. And now we wait. I think after that I will basically start stopping the stream because, and then find this Irish John. What was his name again? That was supposed to raid. Where are you? Irish John Games. Yep. Okay, Irish John Games. Well, if my singing is better than his Jeeper, then I might just keep it up sometimes. I might, but I wouldn't count on it too much. Also, I really value you guys in my stream, and I really think I could scare you guys away. So let me open up my browser in the meantime, so I can look him up. Not sure if I was already following him anyway. Think so, but not 100% sure. And while we wait for that to load, we also wait for this to go. No, 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 he was not talking about him singing. He was talking about the Captain Coder singing, and he was singing that he finds my. He was saying that he finds my singing better than his. And Bardaki, I do not know yet. I think, pretty sure. Wow, my loading of my pages is horrible. also compressing of my objects is horrible, taking forever. Okay, I see him. Well, I see his chat. I don't see him yet. Better see if I'm muted so I don't have a lot of sound suddenly in my ears. I think I am. Jesus, this takes so long. I don't know if I should bore you with waiting for my check-in to complete. You guys interested in seeing how that works? Now you want me to sing Unexpected? Well, then I'm going to be singing stuff like Don't Go. Because I don't want you guys to go. On the other hand, I will have to go myself soon. Because otherwise I will be dead in the morning. And there will definitely be no game. Oh, I'm having the commercial on his channel. I figured like I'm hearing something, but that's the commercials.
Come to support while working to love the vibes here always. Thank you so much, Hat Guy. Appreciate you.
Cannot see. I don't follow this guy yet.
Aviva.
I will have to fix that as soon as I
How you doing?
as I rate this guy. Anyway, I was
With me.
asking you guys a question and I
There we
didn't watch
go.
the answer. You do karaoke with your wife? Oh, that's nice. I once did karaoke in um, uh, Colombia, and I did Hotel California,
side, right?
and I can tell you that's not a success. Oh, you guys can hear him? Okay, then I will turn off his audio for now, because that is not the intention. Wow, mute, finally. Okay, so guys, should I wait for this to go, or do you think I should just go and rate this guy? Waiting for some feedback. Oh, Sing. Yeah, is not there's also a game, right, called Sing. I think I had that game once on PlayStation. My wife also liked the thing like not Sing, but the other one, the dance one, Just Dance. Wow, you are determined, One Lion. That is one heck of a time that you're gonna stay up. But thank you. I'm honored to have you here so long. That's amazing. I feel this is part of what we accomplished today, so I think it might be. You're heading to another streamer, Letterborn. What are you doing to me? No, so you're not gonna follow the raid? There's new messages, but I cannot see them. There we go. We're almost there, I think. So anyway, Letterborn, thank you for being here. Anyway, and go ahead, have fun with the other streamer. I don't blame you. It's fun. Uh, yeah, you don't have to. I mean, you don't know this guy anyway, so don't worry about it, and just do whatever you feel you have to do. You're at work, you work from home, and stream for 2 hours in the middle of my workday on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, I'll be sure to catch you on one of those, probably on Friday, because Wednesday I'm at my client, and I don't think I will be able to turn on the stream when I'm at the client. So, unless it may be in my evening hours, then like now, that I can do, but not during the other times. Yeah, I sometimes lurk around a little bit as well. I try to, especially when I'm working from home, but not when I'm working at the customer. That's basically impossible. Well, nothing is impossible, but not very nice. But lurking when you have to turn off your sound is also a little bit annoying because you basically cannot hear the streamer, and it's read from 4 hours ago for 2 hours. I might be able to join in a little bit, depending on other things, like two critters downstairs um, that I call Gaia and Luca. Anyway, I held on for pretty long anyway, and I think we had a pretty decent crowd today. I'm very happy with everyone that was there. Let's already start talking a little bit towards the end because it's gonna end anyway. Um, I will be working from home tomorrow as well, so I might have some opportunity to do some small things. Not too much, of course, because I have to do my work. I'm a professional, so you cannot just do game stuff all the time, even though I'd love to. And yeah, I'm gonna already start typing in the raid. I think this takes forever anyway, so Irish John Games it was. Raid Irish John Games. Oh, really? They don't get a viewership if you mute the audio? I didn't know that. Yeah, that's very good to know. I'm going to have to look into that because that is something I had no clue of. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream with us being in Unity because it looks a little nicer. And I want to thank you all for being here today. I will at least be streaming again next week on Monday, so if you want to come have a look again, you're very welcome to join me. I would love it if you're there. I will try maybe another day. I'm not sure if I can. Maybe Wednesday in the evening. Maybe tomorrow because my wife has a Dutch lesson, but it will be a short one. But that's all subjective, and I have no clue if it's going to happen. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. You were wonderful. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Thanks, Letterborn. Thanks. You're welcome, Jeeper.